Hey loves, welcome back to another tutorial. So today's video we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful MILKMAID maxi flare dress. It is a very beautiful tutorial. So I already uploaded the first part of this video and I'm going to link it down in the description box. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So here I folded my fabric into two because we are cutting a half circle skirt. That is going to be the lower part of this dress. As you can see, it is going to be a half circle skirt. So now I'm going to start my measurements. So as we all know, the formula for a circle is circumference, and because this is a half circle skirt, we are going to use the formula for a half circle skirt, which is circumference over pi r, and in this case pi is 3.142. It is always constant. And here the value of the circumference is our waist measurement. Our waist measurement is the circumference. So I divided my waist measurement, which is 32 inches, over 3.142, and whatever I got, I added extra 2 inches for my zipper allowance because we're going to add a zipper at the back. So whatever the value I got, that is what I am marking now. So I placed my tape on the tip of the fold and I marked what I got. I'm going to make a whole new video of a circle skirt so that you guys will understand it better. If you have any questions concerning this, please comment down below and I'm going to answer you. So now after marking, I'm using my tape to go around in a curved shape to make sure that I got my waist measurements. And once I am sure that was correct, I went ahead to cut it off. So the next step is to mark the full length of the skirt, and I want this skirt to be a very long maxi skirt. So for my full length, I used 59 inches, but before marking this, I minused my half cut measurement. For example, if your half cut measurement is 16 inches, you are going to minus 16 inches and then get to 59. You can now calculate whatever you have there. That is exactly what I did. So now I'm going to take the measurements round just the way we did at the upper part, because this is a circle skirt. If you make any mistake, it is going to come out wrong. So just follow what I'm doing. So as you can see, I'm done marking the full length and this is what it is looking like. The next step now is for me to go ahead and cut it off. So once I was done, this is what I have, and I was just trying to make sure that I got the desired length I want, which I did. So now the next step is to go ahead and continue with the sewing. For this second part of the top, I am going to go in and join my dart on my sewing machine, and for this upper part I am going to go ahead and work on it now. So now I'm going to get a bias tape and hem this opening so that it will look very neat. That will be the first thing I will do, and after that I'm going to also hem this place. I'm going to hem it. As you can see, I'm going to fold it. I don't want to use a bias tape for a reason, and then I'm going to go ahead and gather this on the lower part of the front. So that's all for this part. So for the back, I am also going to go ahead and secure my darts. I already notched it, as you can see. So I'll go over to my sewing machine now and I'll secure the darts. So the next step is to close the slit at the front, and I'm going to use a bias tape to fold it, and this is what I cut out for it. This is a piece of fabric that I cut out for it, so I'm going to use it and turn it. So now I'm placing it right sides facing each other and I'm going to make a stitch. So at this point, you make sure that you curve it very well because this part can be very tricky. So once I was done sewing, I'm just going to go ahead and turn it again. Just watch what I'm doing. I'm going to fold it again and again, and then I'm going to do another stitch just the way you see me do. So once we are done, this is what we have, and we cannot leave it like this. We are still going to adjust it because it is supposed to be like a V shape. So yeah, this is looking like a U shape. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it together, and then I'm going to go over to the edge like this, and I'm going to make a small stitch just so we secure it to look like a triangle. So once I'm sure that I have secured it well, I've kept it in place, I am going to make a stitch, and I'm going to make a double stitch at this point so that it's going to sit pretty. So once I was done, this is how it is looking. So now I'm going to hem the base of this neckline. I'm going to fold it into two. If you don't want this to be to reduce your length, you can use a bias tape for it, but me, I want mine to actually reduce. I don't want it to be too covered up, so that's why I'm going to fold it. So now I'm going to go ahead and fold this, and I'm also going to fold for the other side as well. And please make sure that you leave a space for the passing of your rope here. It can be very tricky, just so you don't close up everything. So once I was done, this is how it is looking. As you can see, looking so pretty and neat. So I've gone ahead to hem the base of this neckline, and this is how it is looking. Make sure that you leave enough space because we are going to pass a rope on this point. So make sure that your opening is enough for your rope to pass through. So here I cut out the fabric I'm going to use for my rope for the front part. I've already piped the rope, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it through these holes that you are seeing. So I'm going to get my safety pin, and with that I'm going to use it and pass it through there, just the way you see me do. Whenever I'm done, I always use my pin to secure it at the end before removing the safety pin. This is to avoid your rope from losing. So I'll go ahead and put on the other side as well. And once I'm done, I'm going to use my pin and secure it for the moment before removing the safety pin. So this is what we have. This is the rope that they always tie in the front of a MILKMAID dress. That is what we just put there. So now I am going to get the second part of the front, and I'm going to place it the way I'm going to sew it on my machine. So now this second part, we are going to gather the first part on it, just the way you see me doing, where I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and run a gather stitch there. That way we'll be able to get the MILKMAID effect. So for the back piece, I've gone ahead to secure the neckline. I went ahead to pipe the neckline, as you can see, and it's looking so neat. I've also secured my darts as well, as you can see. So now I am going to get the other parts of the back, and what's left for us now is to attach this to the front part. So this is how the front is looking like after I've joined it together. I've joined the gathers together on my sewing machine, and I've secured it properly. So now I'm going to place my back piece on top of the front, right sides facing each other, just the way you see me do, and I'm going to arrange it properly, just the way I'm going to sew it. And once I'm done with that, I am going to go ahead and get my pin, and I'll pin it properly, just so it doesn't move while I sew. So now the next step is to go over to our sewing machine and secure the sides properly. I'm going to sew the sides with the allowance that I removed. So make sure that you are sewing it with the allowance that you removed, just so it fits properly. So we're done joining it together, and this is how it looks. So this is going to help us now with the sleeves and the lower part of this, which is the skirt part. The skirt part is like a half circle skirt, so I'm just going to attach it all around. It doesn't have a front or a back, it's just one. And then I'm also going to attach a puffy sleeves on this, and that puffy sleeve, I have the video, is going to come up on my channel another day. It's a whole new video on its own. So I've gone ahead to attach my sleeves, and this is how pretty it looks. It is a puffy sleeve, and the video will be uploaded separately because I don't want this video to be very long. So now that I'm done with the sleeves, the next step is to attach the lower part of this gown, which is the skirt part. We're going to attach it all around this upper part. So here I'm trying to make sure if they align properly, the upper and the lower parts, and if your skirt part is excess at this point, just cut it off if you are sure that the measurement you have on your upper part is correct. So yeah, so now I am going to go ahead and find the midpoint of this lower part so that it will be easier for us to sew. So I already marked my midpoint off camera, so I'm just going to use a chalk and indicate it there. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to get the midpoint of the upper part as well. So I'm just going to fold it together, and then I'm going to notch the midpoint. So now this is going to help us to sew properly and make sure that it is at the center. So I'm going to place it on the skirt part. I'm going to place it right sides facing each other, and then I'm going to go ahead and pin it all the way around, just so it's easier for us when we are sewing. So now I'll head over to my sewing machine and I'm gonna make a stitch all around the gown, and this is what it will look like once we are done. So here I'm done joining it together, and as you can see, I joined with 1/2 inch because that's the allowance I left for it. And now this is how pretty the gown is coming up. So now the next step is to attach our zipper at the back. So I'm just going to arrange it properly, and this is the zip I'm going to use. It's an invisible zipper, so I'll just go ahead and attach it, and then I'm going to complete the sewing of this all the way down. So guys, I've attached my zipper and we are almost at the end of this tutorial. My zipper is looking so pretty, as you can see. It is an invisible zipper, and I've also gone ahead to sew this all the way down to the end of the fabric, and this is how pretty it is looking. So now for this bottom of this dress, I'm going to use a bias tape and turn it. Now I don't have it currently, so I'll just get it and I'll use a bias tape to turn it. You can as well weave your own if you don't want to use a bias tape, and that's okay. So guys, if you made it to this point of this video, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on my next tutorial. Bye.